Hi everyone, this is group 24. This is a BraiNet project that we have, and this is the application that we developed for the BraiNet project. Okay, so we can see, as we can see, we have 4 buttons here which represents 4 different functions. For the fork server functions, as we push the button, we can go into the page that we can register as a user, and then we can log in as a user. Cloud server function basically the same, but the only difference is the server runs on the cloud. For the do tests function, we do the test for the power consumption and time for fork server and cloud server. Which basically we just register different users and assign different users and then compare their time and power consumption, and relax video leads to the video that can relax the user. Okay, let's go to the fork server function. Okay, we have the limitation user name because this is the name that we have for the brand signal files that we have in the SD card. This is the only user that we can use for this project, unfortunately. Okay, let's try to register one users. The file is uploading. Okay, register process is successful. We can see the execution time and the power consumption. Since the process is really it's a short time process, so fortunately we can't see any power consumptions. Okay, let's go back to try to log in. Okay. Okay, the file is uploading again. Oh, as we can see, the login process is successful. This is execute time and power consumption. Okay, let's try the cloud server. Oops. Okay, pretty much the same for the cloud server. Okay, now we successfully log in for the cloud server. Okay, let's see the test. In the test, we use the S002 to S010. These 9 users will be used for the registration test and login test for the consumption for power and time. As we can see, the file is uploading. The further improvement includes the bar that can show the process, but unfortunately we don't have that now, but we will have that in the final project. Okay, successfully the doing test function successfully executed. As we can see, some of the for the fork server, 4 out of 9 process is not successful, and for the cloud server, 3 of the cases are not successful. And we can see the execution time and the and power consumption for both server. Okay, that's the test that we did. We for the further development, we should have the adaptive offloading algorithm to automatically choose which server to use, and we will do that. Okay, then that's the fine for the video is the only the video. So this is the video that we use for relaxing the user to get the right brain signal. Maybe we can change the video, but for now it works. A little bit buggy, but that's fine. And we go back, and that's all the work that we have done, and still have several things to do. And later, my fellow partner will introduce the server side. Thank you.
I will briefly introduce our BraiNet server. This server is API, RESTful API server for BraiNet project, which supports user authentication and authorization using Brain Signal. This server is implemented with mainly with Spring Boot and PostgreSQL database, and this server will provide us 2 kinds of API. The first API is the sign up API, which will accept the post request for user signing up. Specifically, this server will accept a full JSON document which contains a username and a password. Here, the password will be a brain signal. The server will process this brain signal and extract feature from this signal, and this extracted feature and our username will be stored in the database. The second API is the login API. The server will also accept a JSON document which contains username and the brain signal. And this test signal will be compiled to our target signal. And our server will return the result to indicate whether this user is successfully logged in. Now we can try to run our server in cloud and our fork server. So our cloud server will be using AWS EC2, which contains 2 CPU and 4 GB memory. So let's run this server. And it's successful the run. Then I will run our server in our fork server. The fork server is Ubuntu virtual machine, which runs in MacBook Pro, and the memory is 5.4 GB. Let's run this. So it also succeeded. So by now, our server has successfully run in our cloud server and the fork server.